Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are reviewing Kiki's Delivery Service by Hayao Miyazaki. Now, Kiki's Delivery Service follows Kiki, our protagonist, who has to leave home at the age of 13 to become a fully realized witch, and in order to do this, she has to become specialized in her craft, she has to find a new home to settle down in, and basically open up her own business. And yeah, I went into this film as a fresh viewer, a fresh audience member, because I haven't seen a whole lot about this film and I didn't really know what to expect. And after watching it, I gotta say, this is probably one of my least favorite Miyazaki films. Don't get me wrong, the film has good points, and of course it has some of the staples of a good Studio Ghibli film. Of course, the animation's great because it's Miyazaki, the score's great because it's Joe Hisaishi, and also, for the most part, the characters are very well realized. In fact, one of my favorite characters in this film was Gigi. I loved how he's just like a little grain of salt thrown in Kiki's life. I really enjoyed his character for that because he added a comedic flavor to it. However, talking about characters, that's also one of the weak points of this film because talking about Gigi the cat, no spoilers, but Gigi, he's not really given that much depth and detail towards the later half of the film, and I was so frustrated by this because I loved his character. I loved him being integrated into the story, and to see him drop off was a huge letdown. And a lot of characters are treated that way in this film. Looking back on it, Kiki, towards the later half of the film, she's given a conflict and we see that conflict act on her life, but the film doesn't really take the time to address what that conflict is. I mean, I know that there's different factors playing onto her life, being independent, living on her own, the struggles going along with that. But I mean, that's not a really compelling conflict. At times I was going, just grow up a little bit, Kiki. I mean, grow a backbone, get some action going on, because it makes her appear weak because she's not moving as a character. The story behind the film also has its ups and downs. I mean, there was nothing really of substance there. I mean, it's a good story. It's got some entertaining segments and some colorful characters that pop in every once in a while, but I didn't feel very well compelled by it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked some of the quirkiness that was integrated into it and some of the great points, but the characters just weren't given that much room to express themselves, and I hated that. I mean, I'm going back to the characters, but I just wanted them to have room to express themselves, and rather than just kind of taking little bits here and there, and just to give them some real motivations to act on. I mean, wouldn't it be much more compelling to see Kiki hungry? I mean, you don't have to make it depressing or anything like that, but make it comedic. In this specific regards, the film actually hints to it, but it never addresses it, and I'm wondering why we never get that. Ultimately, the film has the groundwork for a great story, great characters, and great motivation, but it just never fully realizes it. Well, I had my little rant on this film. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kiki's Delivery Service has a good quirky tone, but it's just sad to see such great filmmakers and artists working on this picture and for it to not be fully realized to the potential that it could have been. And for that, guys, I'm gonna have to give Kiki's Delivery Service a 6.5. I know that this is a little bit more harsh compared to my other reviews of Miyazaki's films, but I honestly believe that this film wasn't as well realized as some of his other films. Guys, thank you as always for staying tuned. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Let me know what you thought about this film or other films you might want me to review in the future, and if you like this review, you can click subscribe and join the conversation.